let's talk about how to stay consistent while avoiding burnout. This is super important when you are an entrepreneur because, well, that's just kind of the challenge, at least for me, it is. So I put together this little document to kind of break down a few different ways that you can really keep consistent while also keeping your mental sanity and health. So number one is to get into a routine. So that looks differently for a lot of different people, but one of the things that I've actually found really helpful within my daily routine of work is to time block specific short periods when I know that I can focus 100% on my to-do list and then take a break. And I kind of work in bursts. So sometimes it can be 45 minutes, sometimes it's 2 hours, but somewhere in between there is kind of my sweet spot. And then after that, I start to get a little frazzled and I need to take a little tiny break in order to refocus my mind and really make the most out of my energy. So if I work in a focused way for 45 minutes and then take a 10-minute break and then refocus, this will actually boost my productivity and help me from getting distracted and wasting time and energy on the things that aren't quite as essential during that focus time. So this can be it can be kind of important to turn off your notifications on your phone and really hone in on what that to-do list is that is top priority. So the second part of this is I made up a little acronym and it's MESH. So move, eat, sleep, and hydrate. We know how important it is to just get our blood moving and kind of get those endorphins running, and that really helps with just your mood really and your productivity. So if even if it's only 10 to 15 minutes a day, it really can help you to stay focused and on track and also just stay happy and healthy, obviously. So even if it's only 10 minutes, just go outside, go for a tiny little walk around the block, do a little dance, do whatever it is that makes your blood start to run and that makes you happy. Two is eat. So eat regularly. Number one. I know that when I first started working from home, but for myself, I found that I skipped a lot of meals and that did not help my productivity or my mood. In fact, by the end of the day, I had a headache, I was cranky, I wasn't as sociable in my with my clients. It was just a no good. So if you eat regularly and also be mindful to eat food that is actually going to feed your body and your mind. So eat healthy. Eat something that is well balanced, that is going to give you nourishment throughout the day. So that means don't eat a ton of sugar all day long in order to keep you going and keep on giving you those rushes, because we all know what goes up must come down and we're going to get that crash. So eat regularly and eat meals that are actually going to feed you, your mind, and your body and leave you feeling good rather than depleted. Three, sleep. It's no understated fact that being overtired is going to affect the quality of your work, your mood, and your motivation level. So sleep well, make sure that you are turning off your computer and your work stuff at a reasonable time that is going to give you enough rest to make you feel fresh the next day. And this can sometimes be affected by daytime naps. So if you're kind of a big napper, then that can impact your nighttime rest. So I would recommend trying to minimize those naps. If you need to take them, make them short. And yeah, prioritize sleep and rest. It's going to make a huge difference in your life. And there's actually been some tests that have been done that show, I think it's a study on rats, and they were showing how rats who don't get enough sleep, like if they were getting like 3, 4, or 5 hours of sleep a night, they were acting crazy, like absolutely crazy, and not being able to get anything done, and they were depressed. There was just so much stuff going on just from the lack of sleep that really was reinstating the importance of that sleep. And lastly, but not least, is hydrate. So you need to be drinking more water than coffee, and I'm serious about that. Even if you need to set an alarm every hour, every 45 minutes to make you remember to take a sip of water, it will do wonders for your world, for your health. It is one of the top most preventative measures that you can take to keep yourself healthy from everything. Water is the number one. And if your water tastes really bad, then put some vitamin C in it or put a little juice in it or do something to help you want to drink water. Because I know at some points when I've been in places where the water tastes really bad, I don't want to drink it. But if I add, an electrolyte mix or something to it to make me want to drink it, then that makes a big difference. So really take your self-care seriously. You are your biggest asset. And if you aren't able to perform, then your business isn't going to be able to grow in the way that you want it to. So take these things seriously. Prioritize yourself and your personal well-being. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is creating the to-do list. So create your to-do list the night before and or at the beginning or end of each week. So there's different ways that you can make bigger goals and then break them down into manageable chunks. And for me, it helps me to stay more organized and clear in my mind when I create a to-do list the end of the day of what needs to get done in the morning, because sometimes in the morning I can't quite remember exactly all the things that need to get done. And so if I already have that list broken down, then it helps me to start my day really in the most efficient manner possible, and also at the beginning and end of each week. So if on Friday evening I'm like, okay, this is what needs to get done next week in order for me to have the most productive week possible and get the things done that I need to, then I write out that list, and then on Monday I can readdress it. And if anything has changed over the weekend, I can kind of implement what needs to be changed. So one of the things to keep in mind when you are creating your to-do list is staying focused on the top money-making priorities. So the example is, do you need to build your logo or do you need to bring leads in? To make money, you need leads. So focus on that. Do you need to figure out your brand story or do you need to do marketing or networking to get people to understand what it is that you do? So obviously the brand story is important, but the more important thing is to network. So having those priorities is very important, and to really know, okay, what is going to get me closer to my paycheck? That is what you need to prioritize, and then everything else will fall into line afterwards. So the important thing is to kind of redirect your energy, because I know that it can be easy to focus on the things that are more fun or easier, but get those big things off of your list first, and then you will find that you make time to do those small things that you enjoy more. But really get the things that you want to do least and that are the most important out of the way first. So I hope that this has been helpful, and I will be back with more helpful tips in the next couple of videos. So we'll talk soon.